Welcome to another Impact Drive Time presentation, a value-added feature designed to help you increase your bottom line from Gateway Financial Advisors Incorporated. GFA is striving to provide our partners the synergy, support, and motivation needed to achieve their maximum potential. Go to www.gfainvestments.com or call 888-939-9714 to find out how you can be part of the winning team of Gateway Financial Advisors Incorporated. Now sit back and enjoy as Gateway Financial Advisors presents another Impact Drive Time presentation to help you increase your bottom line.
Welcome to another Drive Time Impact Gateway podcast designed to help you increase your bottom line. I am Shane Wessoler, the CEO and founder of Gateway Financial Advisors Incorporated and Gateway Insurance Group Incorporated. And as Gateway Insurance and Financial Services, we help you take the if out of life so you can live a quality life and maintain your dignity. Today, I have a special guest with me, Marika Somorjai, who is in San Jose, California. She is the founder and leader of Future Legacies. It's great to have Marika with us. She's also been part of the Gateway family for many years. Marika, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Shane. I appreciate that, and I'm very happy to have this nice conversation with you.
Excellent. One of the things that we ask all of our guests as we get started, it's great to have you on the show, is we want to learn a little bit about you. Tell me a little bit about your background, your personal background, maybe a little bit about your childhood, where you grew up. And then one question we ask all of our guests is, what is that one thing in life that you're proud that you accomplished somewhere before the age, we'll say 30 for you?
I was born in the communist country of Hungary as the fourth of 7 children. Our humble means was provided by our father, who unfortunately was a dominating person, bad to his wife and to us as children as well. When my grandmother saw the bad family life my father created, she took me in the age of 5 months and raised me by herself while making ends meet with hard work and cleaning and cooking. She was a wonderful person, strong, honest, and hardworking. She was a single woman, divorced from her husband, and raised her children, 3 of them, on her own. She was very strict, expected from me honesty, good ethics, quality, always, whatever she or I was doing, and we deeply loved each other. Her influence was very strong in my life, even up until now, and truly shaped me who I am today.
Well, that's a fascinating background. What is something that maybe you remember from your childhood that you would like to share that would be unique to you? Maybe something that people don't really know about Marika. And then let's talk about maybe a little bit about what you accomplished over there before you came to the U.S.
As a childhood, even though my father was a very dominating person and not a really good one, it was eye-opener for all of us children. What would we like to achieve? How would we like to be different than what we see in our family life? Even though he was dominating, we had a very happy childhood. My grandmother was absolutely wonderful to all of us, not just to me. And our mother was trying to do her best as well. We had a very close relationship as siblings, and it's still the same.
So I know one of the things that you did in Hungary before you came over to the United States was you were involved in the clothing and textile industry. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with that and what you accomplished before you came over.
I was age 22 when unfortunately my grandmother died, and that was a very, very hard time in my life. I was already married. I had already my son, and unfortunately my relationship and marriage with my husband after my grandmother passed away started to go to the wrong direction. We were working on it, especially me, to keep it together, but before age 25 I recognized that's not gonna work. Unfortunately, my husband developed drinking problem in the military, and the problem becomes such I divorced him at age 25. With that divorce, my life changed financially. Out of so-called desperation. I needed higher income. I needed to support myself and my son. I started my own business, and that was in the fashion industry. That's my higher education from Europe, fashion and beauty. And I started on my own, and 4-year period I've become extremely successful. At that time in Hungary, there was just a handful of people who did their own business. As I mentioned before, Hungary was a communist country. We never ever talked about business. Certainly we didn't learn how to do business. But get out of that situation where I've been, that was helpful to me. It was a very hard work, but it was wonderful to achieve success. Show it to my son also. We can achieve things if we really put our mind and time in it. And it was very good to achieve financial success and the stability what comes with it.
Well, I know that you had shared with me at one point that you even got to a point where you were taking racks of clothes, I believe you said, up and down the street, trying to sell to merchants, doing what you had to continue to grow that practice. So I think that shows a lot for that drive and personality that you have. And with that, now, did you have the skincare and get into that line of work at that time as well?
I didn't do it in Europe. Skincare was very strong even in the communist country 33 or 40 years ago. It was lots of competition in the beauty industry, not so much in the fashion industry. So it was easier, some way easier because no competition, other ways much harder to build up because it was not any road or any guidance what we could follow. But I chose to do the fashion in Hungary. When I moved to America because I got married with George, I started the fashion business. I wanted to do the same thing that I did overseas. But I learned very early on doing fashion business here, it would be very different, especially our area here in California. It's not for fashion. Somewhat a little bit Los Angeles can be, or Dallas, or New York, but we didn't want to move. So I thought doing the beauty business here, it would be better because it was on almost non-existence around 1991 when I started to doing it here. I thought I can be more successful with my knowledge, what I developed in Europe, and I went back to Europe to higher education on that also, and I thought I can be more of the leader on the industry earlier than the fashion.
So tell me a little bit about how you made the transition from Hungary over to the United States. Of course, I've met George here, and I know a little bit of that story, but let's tell the listeners how you made that transition then from Hungary and ending up over here in the United States.
Well, it was a hard transition, Shane, and I knew that when I made the decision to come here. It was very hard for many different reasons. I had a very successful business at that time. I owned my own home. I owned my own cars. I had my own business. I had very loving siblings there. So I had everything what we aim for pretty much in life. One thing was missing. I wanted to have a partner, certainly, and a good father for my son. And when I met with George, I found that in him. The obstacle is I'm over there and he's in America. And I made the decision, family is more important than anything else in life. So I was willing to give up everything what I had in Hungary, leaving my business, leaving my lovely siblings, and came with my son. It was a good decision, a hard decision, and I knew I have to work even harder here to achieve something just similar that I achieved in my native country. I speak English when I came. I did not have any friends. I only knew George and a little bit a few relatives of him. So I felt like a fish out of water when I came. A few months later, I recognized I have to be active. I cannot just stay at home. I have to develop my life here. And I started to go to school to learn English. And even with that limited of English, I arrived October 1st, and December I was working already in a shop, a very well-known shop in Campbell here in California. It's a wedding shop. And I was helping altering wedding dresses for clients.
Yeah, and I believe George was from Hungary as well, but he was over in the United States at that point. Was he involved in construction? What was his background here?
First, when I met him, he was in the real estate business. He was a real estate agent, but that business had a big struggle around the middle 80s, close to end of 80s. So we made the decision maybe it's better if he start his construction business. That was a big need for that more than selling real estate. But he was a wonderful help for me to able to develop my life here. Honestly, if he would not be that patient and understanding what I'm going through to develop my life here, we could not have that successful and happy marriage that we had and has. He helped me every way. He was the translator wherever I went and whatever I wanted to achieve the first few years until I developed my better English and I was able to do things on my own.
I think you shared with me that when you first got here, you were doing some of that, as you explained with the wedding dresses, and then you started to develop, into the skincare health line, if you will. And from there, I know you started to transition into the financial services. So maybe a little bit about the health line, and then what caused you to look at being in the financial service industry?
Well, when I was in the skincare business, I had my own salon. First I had to get my license. No matter where are you coming from, they're not accepting any license from other countries. So I had to go to school. I went to school to San Francisco. We did the diligent research which school would be the best. And I was driving back and forth for 6 months every day, working days, to go to school and mainly to develop my English so I'm able to pass the test. I was successful at the first time when I tried the test and I got my license. But it was very hard to find a job. Everybody asked for if I have clientele. Certainly I didn't. But eventually in Sunnyvale, I got hired in a hair shop and I was working there. And soon I found out the owner of the salon wanted me to manage the salon, but I was thinking of if I manage it, maybe it's just better if I open my own salon and managing my own. I had a good relationship with the owner, but we rattled on a few things. My business vision was different than hers, so I felt it is better for me just start my own, and I did it in 1991. I opened my own salon, and slowly I built up the clientele. And around that time frame, we were getting close to talking about more and more often about my son's education, and we knew we would like if he has college education, so we were saving heavily for that. But at the same time, I started to find that the money is not going to be enough for the education before he has to he has to go to college. So I asked my own clientele, what are they doing regarding investment, or what do they do with their money when they're saving? Because where I came from, we had only one saving opportunity go to the bank and have a saving account.
Well, yeah, and I think, part of that is trying to understand the differences as you're explaining now, and the taxes over here, the stock markets, all the investment options, and how did you comprehend all of that? I mean, that's a lot to take on when you're not, used to it, or you haven't grown up over here with it.
It was, Shane, and especially that time, we're talking about 25 years ago. You're in the industry such a long time. If you ask someone how do they invest, most of the time the answer was, yeah, I'm having 401k or IRA account, but I don't know. I'm just using some funds. But when you ask, and what type or what is your knowledge, the answer is, I don't know, I'm just putting my money there. Now, even after 25 years later, most of the time the answer is the same. But these days, if you ask someone, how do you invest? What do you do? The answer is, many times, I have a financial advisor. Those days, there was financial advisor, but very few people use financial advisor, and very few people was aware of that. So certainly, I didn't know that either. Just to make a research how to find someone, I didn't even know where to start. So how I started, I had a client in the skincare industry who was a mortgage broker. And she told me, you can go and take classes on that level. So that's what I did. But I did it for my own benefit. I never ever thought I want to change this, get out of my business. As a matter of fact, I was thinking of to grow that business in a way to pick up a skincare line and selling those to professionals like I was in the industry. I was already teaching and helping other professionals in the industry about skincare. So I was thinking that would be really good for me. And the financial industry, the other way, came to my lap. And after when I finished, the question was, would you like to take a test? I said, okay, I'm going to take the test if I did the school and time, what I put in it already. But again, I did not think I want to change my business. When I got to the point, my own skincare clientele was asking me after a while, did you take some classes, Marika? Where are you at with that? And I said yes, and I developed some knowledge already. And then they asked me if I would take them as a client. So that was an interesting twist, what I never thought of. And my answer was, no, I'm not that comfortable in this business. I never started like a business. I still need to develop more knowledge. But somehow they put it in my mind. And I ask myself also, how would that be if that's become a business of mine? So after a while, when I developed more knowledge, I started to look into what can I do and how can I do that as a business. And that was slowly developed a starting point for me.
Very nice. I like that story, and I think you tell it so well, and it just resonates when people meet you, that you have that passion to really work with clients and help them understand what it is that they're doing, why they need to do it, what are the tax implications, what are the rules. You go above and beyond, I feel, many times, just really helping clients feel comfortable with the decisions that they're making. And with that, how would you describe maybe what you do at Future Legacy that's maybe unique or a little different? Is there a client niche that you're looking for? Do you work only with, business owners? Do you work with everybody and anybody? What is it that makes you, really passionate about what you do, and how do people see you? I know you get a lot of feedback from your clients and they love you. So tell us a little bit how you build that relationship.
When I made the decision to get into the financial business, what I really wanted to do, working with corporation and small business owners to develop a 401k plan or different type of plan for the business owners and their employees. And the reason behind it, because I was a business owner also, I knew what I would like to get as a benefit if I'm saving my money. And as you know, there are many different ways we can help business owners on taxation level, savings level, many different levels. But somehow my business started to be going to the direction by many referrals on the individual side, working with couples, working with single mothers, especially when clients started to know me and started to hear my story. And I think what's a big differentiation compared to my peers many times, my life experience, where I came from, the different mindset, the different things what I saw in Europe, it's still helping me here. Not to judging or criticizing my life here. I love America. I love to be here. I truly believe the best country in the whole world, but still different type of experience what you develop, it's still helpful here. And as I mentioned to you, I was a single mother for 8 years. So if I meet with someone who's a single mother or divorced, I can relate to them so quickly and they can relate to me. I know what they would like to achieve. I know what they're looking for. I've been there and done that. Same with business owners. This is my third business, Shane, what I developed from scratch. I know the time that business owner has to put in the business to be successful. I know the courage what they have to able to do that. The ambition, the ingenuity, and the heart and soul. I'm very passionate about what I'm doing, and as I mentioned to you, I'm so thankful for my grandmother, the restriction how she raised me, the ethics what she expected from me, the honesty and the moral values. I tried to use all these all my life, and the heart and soul. Even financial business is very different in many levels than my other two businesses. Heart and soul is more valuable than any money in the world.
Yeah, so I think, with our business, the trust is a big factor, especially dealing with people's money and the financial side of things. So we have to find a way to develop that trust. And you had mentioned your grandmother with the, raising you with integrity and trust and honesty and moral values and all of that. How do you help clients become comfortable with you, Marika? How do you build that trust?
I really hope, Shane, and that's, I hope I'm not calculating this in my business. I hope anybody who sits down with me, even if it's not become a client, they feel my honesty. They feel I care. I have to tell you an interesting story. When I started out in this business, 96, soon after, maybe 2 years later, I had an opportunity at Lockheed Martin to do a seminar for employees because at this time Lockheed Martin was laying off quite a few people. It was a big opportunity for me and made me very happy. But I was so early on in my business, I did not feel comfortable to do the seminar on my own. So I called one of the big financial corporations. I told them my opportunity, and I asked them if they can send out a very seasoned person in the business, and I can do the seminar with that person. And they were kind enough to do that. And that gentleman was in the financial industry 30 years. So I felt very happy and very comfortable to do the seminar with him. And we had several phone conversations before we did it. And the day at the date when we had the seminar, we met for a lunch and we had a conversation. And he asked me how long I am in the business before, but wanted to know me a little more deeply and asked me, how do I feel in this business? And my answer was, I'm pretty new in this business, and I don't even know if it's going to be a business what I want to pursue for long term. I'm just finding out everything in this business. And he asked me, why don't I think maybe I'm not going to do it for long term? And I said for two main reasons. One of them, it's a very male-oriented business, not many women in the business. Secondly, my English is not strong enough, and my accent is very heavy. And this is what he said. Well, Marika, I think this is your best and strong two reasons why should you do that. And I was so surprised, and I asked him, why do you think that? And he said, listen, I am 30 years in this business, and if I would look for a financial advisor, I would look for a woman. And the reason is because if I look for a man or meet with the man, we're competing immediately. Even though I am a client, I'm competing with that person. I am a man also. That's one reason. Second reason, because women do business and care. And about your accent, I'm so happy you're going to talk about some of the issues today as well. Because me, who speak fluently, many times people get bored and they did not listen to me too much. But you, who's speaking with an accent, everybody clings to what you're saying because they want to know what you mean and they want to understand what you're saying. And that's a big advantage, Marika. So it's fun to look back and think of these stories. And he was right. I still feel a little bit disadvantaged because the English, but didn't be a big disadvantage in my career.
Wow, I love that, Marika. That is a fabulous story. And I think he's right. You have that ability to show how much you care, and that's your personality in general, male or female, you're genuine. And I really appreciate that. And I've loved getting to know you over the years. You've been with us for quite a while, and every time you speak, I do find myself more captivated, trying to really listen to make sure that I understand what you're trying to communicate and say, and that's an advantage you have for sure. So you're with Future Legacy, that's the name of your business, and you're in Southern California. I know recently you relocated on a personal level, but most of your clients are kind of in the Cupertino and San Jose area. But with today's technology, certainly we can communicate and work with clients no matter where they are. Zoom meetings and technology have afforded us the ability to do that. How do people get in touch with you if they would say, hey, this sounds like somebody I want to get to know a little bit more about, and maybe move my accounts over to Marika, or maybe start accounts if they're not on a path achieve the goals they want. So Marika, let's tell everybody how they can get a hold of you there at Future Legacy.
Certainly calling me, email me. And I have a website also with very good information, background of mine, and most my clients, what I developed in the years is coming by referral.
Okay, so the best phone number for them to get a hold of you is at the 669 number?
Yes, it is 669-205-7130. Or my email address, which is marika@futurelegacy.com, and my website is www.futurelegacy.com.
Very good. So Marika, thank you again so much for being on the podcast with us here at the Gateway Drive Time Impact Podcast. To get a hold of Marika, marika@futurelegacy.com. Her website is www.futurelegacy.com. And of course, the phone number to contact their office, 669-205-7130. I know Marika will love to chat with you, figure out if she's a good fit for you and you're a good fit for them. Probably also get the opportunity to talk with George. I know George is working with Marika in the office as needed as well. And Marika, as always, I really appreciate you being part of Gateway and becoming a friend. And when I moved from St. Louis out to California, you were one of the first people that I did get the opportunity to meet. Of course, you were already in the industry at that time, but I had the pleasure to come down to your office, visit with you, learn about your practice, do some business coaching over the next couple of years. And you and I have just stayed great friends over the years. So I love you. I love George. And thank you so much for taking time to be part of the podcast today. As we wrap up, I'm going to give you an opportunity to say anything that maybe you haven't said that you would like to say, that last thought that you want to communicate out, not only to listeners within our organization that may be listening to this or professionals in the industry, but also that client out there that you just want to say something to from your heart.
First of all, I would like to thank you the opportunity, Shane, to thinking of me and do this podcast with me. I am a very lucky person to meet you. You helped me tremendously in the business, the coaching session, and all what you experienced in the business earlier than I did, and you were willing to share with me. That was a big help, and I appreciate that very much. As someone who's maybe listening who would like to start in this business or in the business and feel the way I felt when I started, when I wasn't sure it's gonna be really my business, I can encourage them. This is a very gratifying business. We are helping people in a way which is very meaningful in businesses or clients' life, very serious and helpful. It takes time. It takes determination, as I mentioned before, ambition. It's a very gratifying business. For a client who's listening to this, I think, especially in the situation where we are in right now with this COVID-19 and the economy, what we are facing with right now, to have a financial advisor, it's more important than before. It's very hard to navigate in the investment field. Sometimes even for us, who's in the business and in the business for a long term, not the easiest. It's important for anybody who chooses an advisor, they are in the same page.
I think it's important in these times, as you say, that people find an advisor that they're comfortable with and certainly work together for common goals, making sure that not only the goals are there and the financial planning piece is there, but I think most importantly, the personalities also are a good match, that people find that they like working with that financial advisor and they're on the same wavelength, we'll call it, when working together from that perspective. My guest today, again, Marika Somorjai from Future Legacy. Again, she is located in San Jose, California area. And you can contact her by 669-205-7130. Again, that's 669-205-7130. Thank you for joining another Drive Time Impact Gateway podcast designed to help you increase your bottom line. I'm Shane Wessel, the CEO and founder of Gateway Financial Advisors and Gateway Insurance Group. And at Gateway Insurance and Financial Services, as well as Future Legacy, we help you take the if out of life so that you can live a quality life and maintain your dignity. Securities are offered through registered representatives representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer and member of FINRA and SIPC. Advisor services are offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Future Legacy, Gateway Financial Advisors, and Cambridge Investment Research are not affiliated.
Thank you for joining us today, and we hope you enjoyed this program. GFA is focused on being a one-stop shop for full financial planning. To get more information about how you can join and be part of this winning team, go to www.gfainvestments.com or call us at 888-939-9714. Once again, our website is www.gfainvestments.com, or you can contact us at 888-939-9714. This has been a presentation of Gateway Financial Advisors, Incorporated.